welcome, welcome, welcome. And maybe in the other room they'll stop soon, but we're going to go on without them. I would like to greet you in the name of all that is good in Richmond. This is a wonderful, wonderful evening, and I would like to begin by asking our board member, are you the chair? Oh, Ms. West is the chair. Well, I'm going to ask Dr. Monroe Harris to come up here and start making some introductions.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
What a wonderful occasion. I am so happy. We are so blessed to be here, and we want to thank all of you for being with us this evening. We could not have done this without you. We had a little bit of a change in our program because of the rain outside. We decided to bring the ceremonial ribbon cutting inside, and that will be followed by some remarks by some very important people. But what I wanted to do first is to thank all of those key donors that made this happen. So please bear with me. Those donors are Altria, Dominion, West Rock Foundation, Cabell Foundation, Mary Martin Parsons Foundation, Mr. and Mrs. Thomas Farrell, Mrs. Carolyn Lambert and family, the Richmond chapter of the Links Incorporated, Mr. and Mrs. Wallace Statinius, Mr. and Mrs. Greg Cummings, Mr. and Mrs. Devon Henry, Johnson Inc., Mr. Derek Johnson, the Morgan Trust, the Robbins Foundation, Mr. Malcolm Thomas and Miss Lauren Glasper, the Roller Baltimore Foundation, and the Monument Group. Give them all a round of applause. Now, at this time, it is my pleasure to bring the mayor up, and we're going to do a ceremonial ribbon cutting. And there's so many special people in this room that I could have you all come up to really be honest about it. But we only have 4 sets of scissors, 4 pairs of scissors. So what we're going to do, we're going to have the mayor come up. We're going to have Governor Wilder come up. We're going to have Representative from Dominion, Tom Farrell, come up. And we're going to have Representative from Altria, Jennifer Hunter, come up. And to represent the families and individuals, we'll have Carolyn Lambert come up. And Mayor, thank you so much. The mayor is our honorary chair, and we thank him for all that he's done for us to help to get to this point.
Thank you, Monroe. He gives me the mic and doesn't tell me what to do. This is a historic night. Do you agree with me tonight?
Yes.
A historic night, a great night for the city of Richmond, and it's a wonderful night for those who've been working on this project to come to the realization that dreams do become realities, that visions become real life, and that industry pays off. And so we're here tonight to celebrate what's happening here in the city of Richmond. And you know, Richmond is changing right before our eyes. And it's important that we mark these places in time so that generations following us will know that we were here. And for that reason, we're doing some things in the city that are extremely important, like the statue to Maggie Walker that's going to be unveiled in just a short period of time. The Devil's Half Acre that's going to be unveiled in a short period of time. The renaming of the Manchester Court Building for Henry and Harold Marsh on May the 20th. So many good things are happening, but tonight is a capstone here in this neighborhood with the Black History Museum becoming a reality. And so we're delighted tonight to thank all of the members of the board and all of the stakeholders who have made this possible. Let's give everybody a round of applause for their hard work. And I believe now we get the opportunity to cut this ribbon. Come on, Marilyn, you got to be here. Come on, help us count back from 5, everybody. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
Thank you, and I will now turn the program back over to Daphne.
We're going to have some remarks from some of the important people who are involved with this museum, and we're going to start with Ms. Tasha Chambers, and she'll be followed by the board chair, Marilyn West. Ms. Tasha? Congratulations.
Well, I was told to keep it short, so I'll try my best to be obedient. Maya Angelou said, thank you. Always say thank you. It's the greatest gift you can give someone because thank you is what you say to God. So Monroe has already thanked our corporate partners, but again, I want to thank everyone who has believed in this vision, and many of them who actually jumped on board before a lot of people really could see the vision. Also, thank you to the Black History Museum Board of Directors, especially the committee chairs who have given so much of their lives to see that this day will come to fruition. I especially want to thank the historians who helped to inform the exhibitions that are here in the museum. I also want to thank the one constant at the museum, and that who is Mary Lauderdale. Mary Lauderdale has given 18 years of her life to the Black History Museum. So I don't know exactly what Mary is, but Mary has always been the constant at the Black History Museum. And so we love Mary. All of Richmond loves Mary. Also, I wanted to thank the developer, Michael Hopkins, and his team for restoring this building. I don't know if any of you, or many of you have saw what this building looked like before construction began, but they have totally just restored this building, so it's an honor to call this, the Lee Street Armory, our new home. I want to thank all of our donors who helped, who gave to our capital campaign. I want to thank my husband, my son, my mom, and my stepdad who actually made it possible for me to even work at the Black History Museum, because so much of my life has been given, over the 8 months has been given to this museum. So I just want to thank you, Mom, for bringing meals to my husband, to my son, and my stepdad for picking up my son when I needed you to. I just love you guys so much, and it's been a blessing to call you family and to allow me to be able to live out my dream to work at the Black History Museum. And finally, I want to thank God for the ancestors who gave their lives so that we could be here today. And if we could just have 1/10 of their courage to see this thing to the next level, we would be all the better for it. So thank you, and thank you. I'm going to deviate from the program just a little bit, and I want to call up Stacey Burrs, who helped us get to where we are today. So let's welcome Stacey to the microphone.
This is totally unscripted, but it's difficult to look back on the moment when this project was initially conceived and not identify and congratulate some folk who don't get acknowledged when we do this. And so what I want to do is bring my good friend and colleague, Royce Luke, up to this podium, and I'll tell you why. There was a time when the museum was only open by reservation, and the building that we all know and love on 00 Clay Street was essentially in foreclosure, and the organization had sort of lost its way, and we were looking for ways to demonstrate that we were capable of doing great things. And around that time, Royce joined the board, and he and I began a conversation about what might it be like if we could acquire the Lee Street Armory from the city and repurpose it for a number of different things. And it was Royce who continually pushed and and recommended and thanked and any number of things. And so in the way that Tasha has acknowledged me, I've got to acknowledge Royce Luke, because if it was not for this guy, I may have left the project some time ago. And he just kept saying, this is the project that the city needs, not just because we can put a new museum in it, but it would signal the rebirth of Jackson Ward. and we could have economic development, neighborhood revitalization, and all of those things. So when I think about this project, that's what I think about. And one other thing, without Mike Hopkins, if anybody has a project that they need built, Mike Hopkins is the guy. He is a brilliant developer, a problem solver, and on top of it, he's a great guy. And he was 185 pounds when we met him. He's down to about 112 now. And so we want to thank him as well. And so, and beyond that, the community of folk who love the Black History Museum and have supported us over time, thank you so much. We couldn't be here without you. So I dropped the mic like
All right, good evening, everyone. Good. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Marilyn West, and I'm the proud chair of this center. This is a beautiful place. I mean, I think it's extraordinary. This is a place where everyone in Richmond wants to be. Can't you tell? Hey. But anyway, this is a night where we don't thank anyone but the we's. It's the we's who did it. There's no such thing as I. And I can tell you that it's taken this whole team, it's taken all the partners to make this work. So clap, please. Wow. I really want to make sure that I don't miss anyone, so I'm not going to recognize anyone. It's all of you. I just can't tell you enough about what you mean to all the past and former, that's the same word, isn't it? Past and former pioneers who made this happen. I know they must be someplace clapping their hands and saying, hey, this is a party going on, right? Because we're celebrating all that they did for us. For many Afro-Americans here, we wouldn't be here if it weren't for some of the people like the Maggie Walkers and all the others that you're able to see in this beautiful edifice. And I don't want to say too much more, but I do want to recognize the board members, if you allow me to do that. I think it's so important because each and every one of them has given so much. Beside White, Cawthorne White, here she is. She's our vice chair, done an extraordinary job. Hossein Sadid, who's our treasurer. Stacy Burrows, you've met. Leonard Edlow, Kim Grinnage, Monroe Harris, you've met. David Holland, Brian Jackson, John King, Penny McPherson, Sandra Rollins. Sandra, are you in here? She's been out front, I'm telling you, she's doing everything. Kimberly Wilson, Richard Woodard, and of course Tasha Chambers is our executive director and our operations manager, who is Mary Lauderdale. Again, we want to applaud you. I want to applaud all the former board members that are here. If you're here, raise your hand. Wonderful. John King, here he is, John King. Where are you, John King? Oh, is he coming? Okay. He makes these grand entrances because when he comes up, he always has something to say. Okay. Richard Woodward. Richard, where are you? Oh, he walked out? Leonard Edlow. I called Leonard. Okay. So in any case, let me single out just a couple people. I said I wouldn't do it, but the mayor has been a significant partner of ours, and we just love him, and we appreciate him. We need to applaud him because he was with us every step of the way. And all these other corporate partners, Dominion, Altria, they're all just such great. West Rock, great people. I'm not going to go through that. Can you see me? Hey, look, my hair looks good from the back. Okay. I think that's enough. You've had it. I can't think of a better crowd. I don't know, are you all taking selfies? Because this is a picture we could really put up, and I think a lot of people would applaud us from around the world. All right, it's time for me to go. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Marilyn. And now that hand for the whole board that May this dream come true. Richmond is rich, rich, rich in the history of what built Richmond. And this is a great edifice to showcase the African American contributions to the building of Richmond and America. It's nice when we get to tell our own stories.
Could you put this over
The
there?
next person I'd like to bring up
Just
is
put it in the corner.
the Senior Vice President of Communications and Corporate Citizenship from Altria, Miss Jennifer Hunter.
Well, good evening, everyone. It is an absolute pleasure to be here representing Altria and all of our employees that are so proud to be able to help support the Black History Museum and to be here with you tonight. I just want to tell a quick story, and I'm going to tell on Stacy just a little bit. It's always fun to do that, right? But I have to tell you, the first time I came here, Stacy invited Charlie Agee and I to come and to see the armory. It was cold outside. It was not wet, thankfully, but it was cold. And he brought us in this building, and it was dark, it was cold, but he was able to describe how each of these rooms would come to life. He was able to imagine the gallery space, the exhibits that would come here, the technology that would help enhance the overall experience, the gathering space that would be here to invite the community in. I have to tell you, when we had that experience, he was very clear in what he saw. It was kind of hard to see it. But I have to tell you, to be standing here today in this spectacular building, having been finished, in a building that will tell the stories that we are all so proud of, it's really quite amazing. And when we stood here that day, we were with Monroe and we were with Marilyn. And Charlie and I stood in the middle of the street afterwards. We had just recently committed to the National Museum of African American History and Culture in DC, which opens this fall. They'll open their doors on the National Mall. And we said, what a tremendous opportunity to support a local project here in Richmond that too would tell the stories that need to be told. So I want to say thank you to everyone that played a role in this. Thank you. This is an amazing project and we're so proud to be part of it.
Now from Dominion, the Senior Vice President of Distribution, Ed Baine. Are you in the room? There you are. Welcome and thank you.
Good evening. I'm going to be very brief. As you can see, the volume is going up in some of the other rooms, so I think people want to celebrate. On behalf of Dominion and all of our colleagues, we're very proud to be able to support the Black History Museum. And when you think about it, this is a celebration, not only for the museum, for our people, for our community, this great city, and our great state. And I would tell you, don't let this be a moment in time. After today, bring your friends back, bring your kids back. And not only here, think about what's the next project. Continue to support the History Museum, but we need to work together because there's plenty more work to be done. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Now the last two of our speakers, the first one is the Interim Director of the City of Richmond, Department of Economic and Community Development, Mr. Douglas Dunlap. Where are you, Doug? There you are. Welcome and thank you.
I'm going to follow Ed's lead. The thing is, when you speak this far down in the agenda or the program, a lot of what you would have planned to say has already been said. I look around the room, I see a lot of smiling faces, a lot of people who are enjoying the space. I like one of the other speakers had many opportunities to see this space before the work started. And for you who are visiting, see the interactive boards, see the exhibits, the space, all that has been done up to this point, please don't take it lightly. The work that was put in by the individuals who are part of project teams is incredible. Now, one of the other things that I remember because we brought a number of other entities into the building before the time that we actually decided that we would move forward with the Black History Museum, was that we had a lot of proposals that came to us. They were presented. Funding was coming in, but for whatever reason, for all of those projects, eventually, at some point, they failed and they faded away. And you can also almost say that this building was waiting for an exceptional project, for an exceptional building. And that's what we have today, because at this point, when the Black History Museum concept was introduced, the funding was brought in, came in place. We were able to do what we needed to do to complete this project, and now we stand here today enjoying this space and enjoying the work that was done. So I just want to say thank you again to all of the individuals who contributed from my office, Mr. Ron Johnson, Denise Lawrence, who are not here. I also want to recognize Rick Pilgrim. I visited the site at one point, and Rick Pilgrim, who was one of the site supervisors, was about to pass out, but he was more concerned about passing his inspection than he was about his own health, because he should have been in the hospital. For Mike Hopkins, who I've known for a number of years, Mike was able to endure the task, complete the project, and do so in winning fashion. I appreciate his attention to detail, his modesty throughout the entire project, and his commitment. I saw him doing the groundbreaking, and during that time, he was standing on the backside of the tent, opposite of the stage. And I said, Mike, why are you here? Why aren't you close to the stage so that you can be recognized? And he said, listen, man, we're just getting started. We got a lot more to do, and when we finish this, then we can celebrate. So this evening, for Mike and all that who have contributed, this is our time to really celebrate and enjoy the accomplishment. And with that, I'll end.
Thank you. And the Chief Development Officer of Virginia Community Development Corporation, Mr. Chris Sterling. Chris, welcome.
Thank you very much. Looks like I'm the last, everybody, and it's a testament to the success of the project that you can't even hear outside the door here what's going on. I mean, you can hear in the other room, but it's pretty awesome to be with everybody tonight. I won't reiterate what everybody said about thanking everybody and all the vision that went into it, and all the board members that have come and gone, and all the staff folks that have come and gone. Just to call out a couple of things. Our organization is a nonprofit. We're based on Broad Street near the Sours Vanilla Guy, and we work assembling equity funds to make investments in tax credits. We do that around Virginia. We're really pleased to be in our own backyard. The investor in this project was Union Bank and Trust, so we'd like to thank them for being involved. And we congratulate everybody on their success tonight.
That person's lights
pleased to be here. Thanks.
Are on. Okay. Burgundy, Marquee.
And I want to congratulate everybody who helped to make this project
Burgundy Marquee.
Congratulations, Tasha. I have been your host for this evening, and I'm going to wrap up and tell you welcome and bring your friends, and thank you for coming out tonight. And first, I would like to just wrap up by introducing Mr. Kim Grinnage.
Well, here's an announcement before we release you. We have two things to say. Someone has their lights on. If you have a Burgundy Marquee, license plate VJL6006, your lights are on and your battery might not be working for long. So anybody want to let you know that? Well, we're in the Black History Museum and Cultural Center of Virginia, and this is really an institution. But I want to say that there's someone that all of you know, Daphne Maxwell Reid, and if you've gone to any event where she is asked to do something, I don't think the woman has ever said no. I think that she always says yes. For those of you that know your history, you know that we have a national treasure right here within our midst. And Daphne, I just want to say thank you for all of the things you've done in the past, but on behalf of the board of directors and all of the staff, we just want to just give you, add to a fine rose that you are, here's 12 dozen, or a dozen roses. Here you are, Daphne. Thank you very much. So I know it's cool in here, so now you can scatter about, drink that wine, eat all the food, listen to the music, and thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, we want to see you often and all the time. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.